Baylor women's basketball picked up a commitment in the transfer portal, and this is, of course, she hasn't signed yet or anything like that. Who is it I'm referring to? It is Kiersten Johnson from Oklahoma. Apologize for looking out because I cannot memorize all this stuff. She is a 6'4" forward that will be a senior next year, so 1 year of eligibility. And she's actually from Duncanville, Texas, where she attended Duncanville High School. So she's closer to home. And I'm going to say this right now. The numbers may not jump off the page, but she's better than it shows. And what I've been told, what I heard about her through like film and all that. So coming out of high school, she was a 4-star forward per Prospects Nation. She was graded 90 overall, as in like you give like certain grades on ESPN like 90, 91, 92, 93, 94 on recruits. She was like 90 as the number 24 forward according to ESPN. And she rose as high as number 40, but obviously she didn't finish there, but that's besides the point here. And she led Duncanville to a 28-3 record in a state semifinal as a junior. As a senior, she guided them to 34 wins and 7 losses in a top 20 national ranking. She averaged 7.2 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game, 1.5 blocks per game over her junior and senior seasons for Duncanville, and she starred on the Pro Skills Texas EYBL team that sent 7 players to the Division One level in 2022. So, as you can tell by those numbers, she is a shot blocker from the high school ranks, and I know that last year it didn't show, but when you look at the prior 2 years, she is one. And this is what I've been heard about her through like when you watch film and stuff in the past. She is a rim runner, shot blocker, a quick jumper with good hands, and a good rebounder. And I know the numbers don't say otherwise, but you gotta consider the playing ability. Some of it is her prior teammates, and even this year, Oklahoma had Reagan Beers. Yeah, that took some minutes away from her. And like some other players as well, but that's besides the point here. And she didn't have a lot of opportunity this year. She only had 6.5 minutes per game in 30 games. And she has no career starts, by the way. She did the following stats: 2.2 points per game, 1.9 rebounds per game, 0.4 assists per game, 0.9 turnovers per game, 0.2 steals per game, 0.3 blocks per game, 0.7 fouls per game, 53.3% from the floor on 45 attempts, 27.3% on threes on 11 attempts, 60% on free throws on 25 attempts. I'm going to go over her freshman and sophomore years too to give more context because, as you could tell, that was at least my minutes. But her true freshman year in 25 games played and 9.2 minutes per game, she averaged 3 points per game, 2.2 rebounds per game, 0.7 assists per game, 0.7 turnovers per game, 0.2 steals per game, 1.2 blocks per game, 0.9 fouls per game, 34.4% from the floor on 93 attempts, 0 for 13 on threes, 54.5% on free throws on 22 attempts. Now, her true sophomore year, in 33 games played in 10.8 minutes per game, which is the most she's done, by the way. She averaged 5.4 points per game, 3.2 rebounds per game, 0.9 assists per game, 1.2 turnovers per game, 0.3 steals per game, 1.1 blocks per game, 1.5 fouls per game. And she did shoot 43.6% from the floor on 163 attempts, 11.1% on threes on 9 attempts, 68% on free throws on 50 attempts. And you actually might remember her from her, like the year prior, actually, when she went off against Baylor. And when you look at the numbers, she's not had like a 20-point game since then. It was on Valentine's Day against, in Norman, in 21 minutes, and she had to do that because of the foul trouble issues, I believe, at the time. And she had 20 points on 8 for 12 shooting. 0 for 1 on threes, 4 for 5 on free throws. She did have 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 turnovers. Not 3 steals, 3 blocks, 3 turnovers, and 1 foul. Of course, she had like some other she did have double figures against TCU last year. Like games that had like 8 or 9 points against Houston and Texas Tech respectively, as well as Oklahoma State. But you get the whole point. And she's familiar with the style of offense, actually, of course, and she did score 10 points against, I believe that's Alabama State. But I'm going to just, yep, that's Alabama State. That's what I thought. And I know she had good numbers, like, in one game this past year. That was against Omaha, I know. But you get the point. I do think she has more to show up to this point in her career. I do. I do think there is a role for her on the team. I just don't know about starter. That's the thing. But I know it's ideal to have a dominant big. But look at the 1990s Chicago Bulls teams with Michael Jordan. They didn't have a dominant post. I mean, and it worked out for them, as we all know, in terms of history. And I know that's men's basketball compared to women, I know. And this does bring up the roster to 10 players now. I expect at least one more addition, 2 or 3 at the most, to be honest. And I'm going to mention this right now, that Baylor women's basketball apparently had like another visitor, like some time ago or something, because on Instagram, and it's like it was Yuting Dong, as in Deng. It was like her coach, I think, but I don't know. It's like FAFALUBBALL. So, and it said like barriers, we got none. Then like a China emoji, like it's like a building type, and then one other emoji, and said hashtag sicko. So that's, and I did know about this potential, like, get right here. I mean, not really get, it's more like I saw that she visited Baylor on Instagram under Bella Funnelboy yesterday, actually. So I was aware that this could have been a possibility. I was aware. And I'm just going to make this clear right now. There is no Brea Cunningham on the table. She's committed to Texas. It is what it is. They're probably going to get another big, and with like another big, I would think, and definitely another guard. And Yuting Dong, if she does come to Baylor, she might be the backup for Bella Funway, and that's not a bad thing. And she's a good 3-point shooter. And I'm going to wait and see. I'm not going to sit on what really happens there before going into the stats and all that. I don't know. But you get the whole point. And it's good to have a player with a little height. And now we know Kyle Abraham and Kiersten Johnson do have like 6'4" tall in height. So it does help. And I know Kellen Elms could do it in the pinch. I know she's 6'1", but still, she played a small ball 5 a year ago. And it wouldn't shock me if they decided to go get another big, because you gotta have quantity. And we remember a year ago, we tried to get Miriam Dowden, and obviously she went to South Carolina after Baylor got Ernest Vonleh. So it wouldn't shock me if they decided to go get another big. It's just, probably one with multiple years, and I know Kyle Abraham's listed as a senior, but She only played less than 5 games a year ago. Not this past year, but the year before. So I think she's going to get a red shirt. I think that was a red shirt year. I think so, but I do not know so. And I do like that the team is going to have more height at the height this year, a little bit more than the past. So, in terms of the guards right now, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens from here. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 or more. Some money at this course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube background. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well. Some more people could watch. And if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe button for the notification bell as well. And I do see a role for Kiersten Johnson on the team. I just don't know if their plan is to start her or they're going to get somebody else and have her as a starter. Or to get another big and then rotate. Because, it does help, maximize potential and reduce foul trouble and all that. That might be the plan here, but I don't know. This is a TBD. If they're gonna, I would think they're gonna get another big, possibly, but definitely at the guard position. You gotta have more guards because Jana Van Geinbeek is coming off of a knee injury, and Inez Goryanova did not even play last year, and because she was she was rehabbing from that torn ACL back in January of 2024. So, just something to keep an eye on. But I definitely think they're going to have to add at least one player. They're probably, I would think, 2 or 3. And it's hard. It's harder now these days to have 14 to 15 players because of the transfer portal and playing time. But at the same time, you gotta have some quality depth. And I do think they're probably going to try to get another big just to have more depth. And then add another guard or 2, and then I think we'll be fine. Baylor women's basketball is going to be fine. Even if it's not like a Aaron Von Lake type, at least we have something with size. And maybe Kiersten Johnson could very well turn into something bigger than she's been in her career up to this point. So we're going to wait and see what happens.